To have another language is to possess a second soul. That quote is attributed to Charles I, also known as Charles the Great, but more commonly referred to as the French translation of his name, Charlemagne. Now, he never actually spoke French, he spoke Frankish and Latin, both languages which were highly influential in the current languages of Western Europe, but are both no longer living languages. In fact, it has been 1200 years that Charlemagne himself has been no longer living. But however long it's been since he said this quote, or in whatever language he said it in, the words now are only truly being tested. Now, last week, I spoke on the importance and the benefits of speaking a second language. This week, I'm still going to focus on the topic of language, but rather I want to hone in on the idea of how language affects our perception. Now, the power of language cannot be overestimated or overemphasized. Language constructs, reflects, and maintains our social realities, or what we believe to be true with regard to the world around us. Now, Dr. Ramsey stated that in chapter 10 of our reading. She also mentioned a study by Dr. Lera Boroditsky. Now, the study asked Spanish speakers and German speakers to describe the word key, or rather simply describe a key. Now, the word for key is feminine in Spanish, la llave, and it is masculine in German, der Schlüssel. So fittingly, the Spaniards' words for key were lovely, tiny, and magic, while the Germans used words like hard, jagged, and awkward. The two groups were also given a picture of a bridge and then asked to describe it. The word for bridge in Spanish is el puente, masculine, and die Brücke in German, feminine. And as expected, the results were the opposite of the word key. Now, Dr. Boroditsky goes further in her study to show how languages shape thought by using temporal progression. Things like pictures of plants growing or a banana being eaten. Now, people were given sets of pictures showing these progressions and asked to put them in temporal order. Now, each person was tested 2 separate times and facing in different cardinal directions. Now, the English speakers arranged the pictures from left to right without considering the cardinal direction. Hebrew speakers arranged the cards from right to left, also irrespective of the cardinal direction. But there was another group, the Kayuk speakers. Now, they're a small Aboriginal group from northern Australia, and they don't have words like left or right, forward and back. And so, interestingly, when they were asked to put these pictures in order, they would put them from east to west. And it wouldn't matter which direction they were facing. In fact, they were never told which direction they were facing. And yet every single one of them still put them from east to west. Now, Boroditsky's study went on to show that language can affect many perceptions, such as objects and time, but also space and color. Now, these ideas are taken to task in the movie Arrival. Now, while certainly science fiction, the premise of the film is based on the idea that language profoundly shapes how we see the world, such that if you were to learn to speak as the Kayuk, you would have a better situational awareness than a native English speaker. Now, the film takes it one step further to suggest that learning a language that is itself nonlinear would allow you to perceive time in that same way, non-linearly. Now, thankfully, there are those like Dr. Boroditsky who are studying the effects of language on its speakers. However, to those who speak the languages, such as myself and Charlemagne, the evidence has been pretty obvious. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.